welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you're just joining me, welcome. My name is Brianna and I'm a clinical social worker. Last week I introduced social work and discussed some of its core concepts. If you missed that video, I'll link it in the description box below. But today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different and talking about something that many of us are struggling with right now in 2021. COVID fatigue. I know, but don't click away just yet. I promise this isn't going to be another video just talking about the pandemic and how awful it is. We all know that this pandemic has been a nightmare, and sometimes it feels like that's all anyone ever talks about. So we're mainly going to talk about what you're feeling and what you can do to cope with it. The World Health Organization defines pandemic fatigue as demotivation to follow recommended protective behaviors. It's an expected and natural response to a prolonged public health crisis that results in complacency, alienation, and hopelessness. Essentially, the longer a crisis goes on, the more overwhelming it seems. The bleaker things look, and the less you believe that life will ever go back to normal. Going further than the WHO definition, pandemic fatigue is also experiencing mental health concerns as a result of protective guidelines, such as lockdowns and distancing regulations. A piece in the New York Times recently labeled this common experience as languishing. When does this become a problem? The warning signs include excessive fatigue, low or negative outlook on life, loss of motivation, and decreased use of COVID guidelines. Here in Canada, as more and more people are getting vaccinated, we're seeing a decrease in public health measures being followed. And this video is not here to shame people who aren't being as strict as they used to be. Most of us can relate to this in some way at some point during this pandemic. We're not perfect, and this has been a long, isolating year and a half. It's normal and understandable that we're all a little fed up and need to bend the rules once in a while. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. One of the reasons pandemic fatigue is so concerning is that for many, our coping strategies have not been available to us. Spending time with family and friends, visiting your local city or neighborhood, having a self-care day at a spa, concerts, or social groups, all of these have been restricted since March of last year. We're under an incredible amount of strain and we're doing it isolated. So what can you do? This isn't going to be a video that ends with me repeating government ads to get vaccinated. Whether or not you choose to get the vaccine is ultimately your business. What I am going to tell you are some coping strategies that have been shown to be effective for improving mental health during these difficult times. The first strategy is focus on what you can control. It can feel like we're bombarded with COVID. The news is filled with statistics and stories, there are guidelines posted in every window, and the discussions are constant on social media. Setting up some boundaries to all of this information can help limit your exposure to COVID-related stressors, whether that be reducing your social media time, only watching or reading the news once per day, or making a conscious effort to discuss other topics. And if seeing others not practicing social distancing or proper mask wearing is causing you stress, you can try to plan out your day to limit exposure. When it does come up, just try to remember all of the protective measures that you are taking to keep yourself safe. The next strategy is physical activity. You can check your local area to see what gym or fitness center rules are, as many are now open in some capacity. Utilize the hundreds of free workouts right here on YouTube or elsewhere online. Maybe create a virtual workout group to keep yourself accountable. Even start small with stretching throughout the day or going for a walk in your neighborhood. The important thing is to start moving your body again, which will release those important endorphins and give yourself an outlet to release some of that pent-up stress. Number 3, create a schedule or routine. One of the biggest struggles of any crisis is the loss of normalcy. Whether you're a spontaneous person or always have a plan, most of our days have a certain rhythm or flow that we can rely on. For many, this is wake up, commute, work, commute home, and then do whatever it is you want to do in the evenings. Most of us don't have that structure anymore, or any structure. So it's really important to begin to create some sort of routine to keep you on track. A small place to start is simply getting dressed when you wake up in the morning, whether you work from home or are currently unemployed. And yes, that means pants. Sorry guys. Losing routine can make us feel like we're losing momentum, that there's nothing we're striving towards. But just because we've lost that structure from the outside world does not mean that it is lost to us forever. We can start to hold ourselves accountable, or to a family member or friend if this is something you struggle with. Practice mindfulness, meditation, or prayer. A lot of COVID-related anxiety and fatigue comes from the uncertainty of the future. When will this end? Is this going to end? When can I see my friends, stop wearing a mask, travel again? There's also a lot of disappointment and sadness as things that are important to us continue to get canceled or postponed due to the pandemic. Practicing mindfulness can be a good strategy to fight pandemic fatigue because it's really about focusing our attention and thoughts only on the present moment. The only real thing that each of us has in our lives is today. When you become overwhelmed or struggle with hopelessness, practicing meditation or mindfulness can help relax your body and return your thoughts to the here and now. Am I safe and well? Am I able to do something to make today just a little bit easier for myself? Just tuning out of the world and into yourself is really important for your own well-being. If you're religious, this could also mean dedicating time into your new routine to pray, not just for others or about the restrictions to end, but for strength and peace to get through each day. Finally, don't let physical distancing become social isolation. Physical distancing guidelines have made it difficult or even impossible in certain cases to visit our family and friends. Game nights, shopping trips, vacations to visit family abroad, all were placed on hold. Or were they? While it's not the same as being near the people we love, there are many ways to connect and create community virtually. Social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok have all enhanced our ability to connect by text, voice, and video messaging. Streaming sites such as Netflix and Disney Plus created watch parties in order to recreate movie nights. Zoom is another great resource for connecting with others. Many use it for game nights, get-togethers, and even special occasions such as weddings or anniversaries. Are there online book clubs, social groups, or classes that you could join? And if you need that person contact, I hear you. Sometimes it might be a driveway or outdoor distance visit. Other times maybe you just need to have that person in your bubble for your mental health for a while. The important thing is that you're still connecting with others, making sure that you are still reaching out, especially when you're struggling. While it may not be the same, it's important to still try and foster that connection with others. No matter what is happening in this crazy world that we're living in, you are not alone. So that's it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video or that it gave you some strategies for getting through this difficult time in all of our lives. If you did, give it a thumbs up so I know what content to make more of. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I post here each week. And if you think that it could help someone that's maybe struggling right now, be sure to share this video with them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. The World Ortho... Cope with it. The World Ortho... Oh my god, again.